Right, so let's look at the report of the Bank of Ghana 2025, of which it reveals some fraudulent activities within the banking sector or the industry. Now, the first one that we need to look at is the comparison between 2014 and 2025, because the report contains the fraudulent activities of 2025. Now, if you look at the total count of fraudulent activities recorded in 2024, it was 16,733, and also the total value at risk, I mean the amount of money that we lost as a country, recorded in 2024 was 99 million Ghana cedis. And as compared to 2025 recorded 24,773 cases of fraudulent activities, and the total value of risk, the amount of money that we lost in 2025 is 101 million Ghana cedis, which makes a comparison. You can clearly see that there was a growth of 48% in terms of the total activities of 2024 and 2025. So there was an increment of activities, fraudulent activities in the banking sector of 48% as compared to 2024. In terms of money that we lost as a country, comparing 2024 to 2025, it was 2% increment. So the amount of money that the banking sector lost was 2% against 2024 here. Now let's look at the total fraudulent for banking sector alone. So the whole industry is what I just told you. For banking sector, it recorded 716 fraudulent activities in 2024 as compared to 472. So you can clearly see that there was a decrease in terms of the fraudulent activities in 2025 as compared to 2024 of 34%. If you look at the value that we lost, I mean the amount of money that the banking sector lost, it was 75 million Ghana cedis in 2024 as compared to 57 million Ghana cedis in 2025. So there's a decrement of 24% here. So you can clearly see that for the total industry, there was an increase of 48% in terms of fraudulent activities comparing 2024 and 2025, and also the amount of money lost. There was an increase of 2% also for the same years. Now let's look at the SDI, that's the specialized deposit institutions, or institutions which accept deposits only in terms of fraudulent activities. It recorded in 2024 344 cases. In terms of money that lost was 5.5 million Ghana cedis. And also compare this to 2025 recorded 182 activities, and also for amount of money that lost in the same year was 8 million Ghana cedis. Now let's do the comparison and see. In terms of percentages, there was a decrement in terms of activities. So if you compare 2024 to 2025, it was 344 cases, but 2025 recorded 182 cases. So there was a decrement of 47%, as against there was a value risk here in terms of 77% increment of the money lost within the specialized deposit institutions. Now let's look at the PSP, which is also referring to the payment system. Also, if you look at the 15,673 cases being recorded against 2025 of 24,124 cases. Now in terms of money value, 2024 recorded 90 million money lost, and also against 2025 of 37 million Ghana cedis. Now percentages clearly shows that in terms of the count or the number of cases, it was 54% increment. So there was a lot of fraudulent activities in 2025 as compared to 2024. In terms of money that we lost in the service providers also, it was 95% increment money lost 2024 against 2024. So there was an increment in 2025 there. Now let's see the further breakdown here. So this shows the count of cases, as I told you, in terms of typologies. Now the types of cases which recorded within the banking sector. The first one is ATM, the number of ATM that was being lost, and also the amount as it's being down. Now if you do the comparison with 2024 and 2025, you can clearly see in terms of ATM recorded higher than in terms for 2024, and then there was a reduction in 2025. For for cash suppression, I mean the workers, the tellers and the bankers that receive money from clients and they don't deposit or they don't put it in their accounts, they just take it. In 2024 recorded less against 2025, which recorded an increment. This continues here, and there was one interesting here, e-money fraud. So electronic money fraud, it's 2. You can clearly see that in 2024 recorded the highest against 2025, and also for fraudulent withdrawal in terms of the comparison, 2025 recorded the highest against 2024, which recorded less. So these are some of the things that you can see in terms of the activities within the banking sector. So basically ATM operations recorded the highest in 2024 against 2025. Now let's see the other one also here. In terms of money, money that we have lost as a country, for 2025 recorded the highest for cash suppression as against 2024. So you can say for money that we lost in terms of cash suppression within the banking sector, 2025 recorded the highest number as against the 2024, and also ATM recorded less against 2024. And 2020, if you look at forgery and also alteration of this document that we are talking about, 2024 recorded the highest peak year, almost 50 million Ghana cedis, as against the 2025 with the least, which is not even up to 10 million Ghana cedis. So you can clearly see that 2025 was better, as far better than 2024 in terms of forgery and alteration of documents within the banking sector. So these are some of the things that we can talk about here. Now let's see other ones also here. Now count of fraud cases for SDI, as I told you, specialized deposit institution. Now in terms of counts for cash suppression, in 2024 it recorded the highest of above 250 cases, and also for 2025 it reduced. Let me say approximately 100 cases being recorded, and you can see the other ones also here. For credit card, for instance, also 2024 recorded the highest and 2025 minimal, and the rest are here. So clearly you can see that for deposit institutions there was a lot of fraudulent activities within that, but not compared to 2025. If you compare it to the 2024, 2025 was much better. In terms of money that we lost as a country for these particular institutions, if you look at ATM recorded the lowest here, and if you look at the cash suppression for 2025 recorded the highest than 2024. So a lot of money were lost within the 2025 year for cash suppression. And also if you look at forgery, alteration and documents, the country lost a lot of amount of money here as compared to 2024. 2024 recorded least amount of money, but if you look at the yellow line here representing 2025 recorded almost 4 million Ghana cedis. So this is the amount of money that the country lost in terms of fraudulent activities within the banking sector. Now let's see the further breakdown here. This number of staffs who engage in that. If you compare to the cash suppression and the other ones, also 41% for others and also 59% for cash suppression. So you can clearly see that those who were really engaged in money activities within the banking sector by staff members in 2025 were higher than the previous year, which is 2024. Now let's see the trend. The trend clearly shows the amount of money that have been lost within the banking sector. In 2022, we lost 56,348 Ghana cedis, and if you come to 2023, the bank sector and the SDI also lost 72 million. So there's an increment, 72,540,000 Ghana cedis. And we have in 2024 there was a 79 million and 79,720 million Ghana cedis. And also in terms of 2025, in total, you can clearly see that we have lost an amount of 64 million plus. So you can clearly see that at least there's a reduction in terms of the value or the money that the country has lost in the banking sector for 2025 as compared to 2024. But in terms of assets and others too, is a lot. And the cases for 2025 is a loss as against the previous year. So what we are saying is that fraud reported, amount recovered, and also the value risk for bank and also SDIs. So let's see the total. Approximately 3.7 million, representing 5% of the total fraud value at risk of 68.2 million Ghana cedis was recovered, reducing the overall value for risk to 64.58 million Ghana cedis. So basically what we are saying is that despite we losing an amount of 68 million Ghana cedis, Ghana was able to recover only 3.7 million Ghana cedis. Now we have still having a remaining of 64 million Ghana cedis that we need to recover, because the amount of 68 was lost. Now we are able to get 3 million from that. We left with 4 million Ghana cedis. So this is what we are supposed to get as a country. Basically, what I told you now is that for cash suppression, in terms of amount reported and recovered and others too, you can see here it has recorded an amount reported, which is almost 45 million Ghana cedis. And if you look at the yellow here, representing amount recovery, which is very few, very small here, not even up to 5 million Ghana cedis. As I told you, it was 3 million Ghana cedis. But amount lost is almost equivalent to the amount being lost in overall. So you can, if you deduct the amount recovered from the amount lost, you can clearly see that we have a lot to recover as a country. And the other ones are also here. So basically the Bank of Ghana report for 2025 for fraudulent activity clearly shows that there's a lot of work that the country has to do.